Hello everyone, welcome to this week's edition of the I Watch Horror podcast. As always, I am your host Matt, and this week we have more news on Final Destination 7, Alien Earth is dominating the charts, and a copy of a mysterious banned film has been found. Plus, The Conjuring Last Rites hits theaters this week. Let's get to it. On the charts, there's been a changing of the guard, and it's a significant one. The new FX and Hulu series Alien Earth has officially ended Netflix's 11-week streak at the top of the streaming charts. This isn't just a big win for the franchise, it's a huge milestone for Hulu. This is the first time a Hulu original has hit the number one spot since Shogun back in May of 2024. For those who haven't seen it, the show is a prequel to Ridley Scott's original film, set 2 years prior, and it finally brings the terrifying xenomorphs to our home planet. The plot centers on a group of young people who are terminally ill children, or at least they were, before having their consciousnesses uploaded into new synthetic bodies. They're part of a corporate experiment, and of course a Weyland-Yutani ship crashes right into their city, unleashing the very threats that their new bodies were meant to escape. Critics have been a bit split on it. Some have praised the show for its stunning production design and a genuinely unnerving atmosphere, saying it taps into the franchise's classic dread. Others, however, have found the characters, particularly the hybrids with their childlike mentalities, to be a bit more frustrating than compelling. But regardless of the critical reception, the numbers don't lie. Alien Earth has captured a massive audience, proving that there's still a huge appetite for the series, especially when it takes the story in a new and earthly direction. Found footage is a fascinating subgenre. It's often debated, but when it's done well, it can be truly terrifying because it feels so intimate and so personal. The VHS franchise has built an entire universe around this concept, and now it's turning its lens on the ultimate horror holiday. We've just gotten a first look at the latest installment titled VHS Halloween. As you'd expect, all of the new stories are themed around Halloween night, which feels like a natural and long overdue fit for this series. The new film brings together a collection of familiar and new directorial voices. We'll be seeing segments from Paco Plaza, who is of course a giant in the found footage world from his work on Rec. There's also Casper Kelly, the mind behind the viral sensation Too Many Cooks. This new collection of horrors will be available to stream exclusively on Shudder beginning on October 3rd. Damien Leone, the mind behind the wildly successful Terrifier franchise, is once again getting to work on the next in what he's calling the final chapter. After the success of Terrifier 2 and 3, the final film is shaping up to answer some of the series' biggest questions. For a franchise that has been built on a foundation of grotesque violence and a certain enigmatic horror, Leone is now promising a lot of answers. He's revealing the long-awaited backstory of Art the Clown. This is a delicate balance. What makes a character like Art so terrifying is his lack of motivation, his silent, chaotic sadism. He simply is. But as the series has grown, it's also leaned into a more supernatural mythology. And now Leone is attempting to thread the needle to give us a look into Art's origins without stripping away the mystique that has made him a modern horror icon. The film is currently in the pre-production stage, with a potential release sometime in 2026. There is a fog that clings to the town of Silent Hill, a place that pulls people in not by chance, but by some deep-seated hidden desire to confront their own personal hell. And for years, the most iconic journey into that fog-drenched town has been the story of James Sunderland, a man who receives a letter from his deceased wife, Mary, telling him to meet her in Silent Hill, the place where they shared so many memories. This is the central premise of the beloved video game Silent Hill 2, a masterpiece of psychological horror. And now, after a long silence, director Christoph Gans is returning to the franchise he first adapted in 2006. The new film, Return to Silent Hill, is an adaptation of that very game, Silent Hill 2. We've been waiting to get a glimpse of what Gans has been working on, and the official teaser trailer is finally here. We see James, played by Jeremy Irvine, grappling with this seemingly impossible summons. The trailer hints at the oppressive atmosphere and the twisted symbolic monsters that made the game so compelling. This is a story about a man searching for his lost love, but also in a very real way searching for the truth he has buried deep within himself. The film is slated for release in theaters on January 23rd, 2026. For horror fans, there's a new destination on the streaming landscape. Scream TV, which has been available in a more limited capacity, has just launched a new dedicated app to broaden its reach across North America. This isn't just about making horror more accessible, it's also about offering a carefully curated library. The team behind the app has pulled together a collection that spans the genre, from cult classic obscurities to surrealist nightmares, and of course a healthy dose of classic slashers. The app also features its own original programming, with new shows and films available for a 45-day replay window after they premiere. Corin Ferguson, the head of Scream TV, has stated that the goal is to become a truly trusted global destination for horror. To that end, they've also secured a new partnership with TELUS in Canada. This means Scream TV's content is now available directly on the TELUS channel 444, bringing it into the living rooms across the country and further cementing its presence in the North American market. In what might be the most charmingly dangerous news of the week, the world of horror comedy is colliding with the world of collectible construction bricks. A new LEGO set is on the horizon, one that allows you to bring home your very own Mogwai. The set features the iconic Gizmo from the 1984 film Gremlins. The set clocks in at 1,125 pieces and creates a figure that is not only highly detailed but also completely posable, allowing builders to adjust his ears, arms, and other features. This being Gizmo, he also comes with some quintessential accessories. The set includes a water splash element, a clever nod to the famous rule about keeping Mogwais dry, and a pair of brick-built 3D glasses, just like the ones he wears while reading his comic books. The LEGO Gizmo set is available for pre-order now and will be released this October. It's a piece of timing that couldn't be more perfect as it coincides with the latest buzz surrounding the long-awaited Gremlins 3. While a script for the film is reportedly finished and awaiting approval from Steven Spielberg, no official release date has been announced, making this new LEGO set the perfect way to satisfy your Mogwai fix while you wait. From Searchlight Pictures comes the highly anticipated sequel to 2019's horror comedy hit Ready or Not. The follow-up, officially titled Ready or Not 2 Here I Come, is slated for an April 10th, 2026 release, and it's bringing back the original film star Samira Weaving as Grace, the very bloody bridal survivor of the first film's demonic game of hide-and-seek. And while the full cast is a who's who of horror talent, from Sarah Michelle Gellar to David Cronenberg, it was actually Elijah Wood who offered a key insight into the direction of the sequel. Wood, a lifelong horror fan himself, will also be starring in the film. He said that the new film will take place immediately after the end of the original. More than that, he revealed that the sequel is designed to deepen the mythology of the Laodamas family and their pact with the devil. For a film that left some of its scariest implications just at the surface, it's an exciting bit of news for fans who have wondered about the full scope of the demonic forces at play. Every so often a film comes along that seems to defy expectations. Zach Cregger's latest film, Weapons, has proven to be just that kind of anomaly. The film has now officially crossed the $200 million mark at the global box office, and it's done so quickly, pulling in $115 million domestically and another $83 million from international markets in just 3 weekends. When you look at its reported budget, a surprisingly modest $40 million, the numbers become even more impressive. That puts Weapons in a league with the most successful horror releases of the year, right behind a couple of heavyweights. So far in 2025, only the highly anticipated franchise entry Final Destination Bloodlines and Ryan Coogler's runaway hit Sinners have earned more. For a genre that often thrives on smaller, contained stories, this kind of commercial success on a wider scale is something of a rare event. It signals that audiences are willing to show up for a unique and original concept, especially from a filmmaker like Cregger, who has a proven track record of unsettling us in unexpected ways. MGM Plus's hit sci-fi horror series From is building out its world. As the 4th season of the show enters production in Nova Scotia, we've learned of a significant new addition to the cast. Actress Julia Doyle will be joining the ensemble as a series regular. The details are a little light, but we do know her character's name, Sophia. She's described as a sheltered and vulnerable pastor's daughter, which, when you think about it, is a character type ripe for some serious tension in a town like this. Someone who's been protected, maybe even naive, now facing a place where the rules of the world have been completely rewritten, where the most terrifying monsters aren't in fairy tales. With production underway, we can hope to see the new season arrive on the streaming platform sometime in 2026. We are living through something of a renaissance for physical media. A lot of that has to do with the resurgence of vinyl records, but there's also a smaller, more dedicated group of people who are searching through flea markets and garage sales for a different kind of treasure: rare VHS tapes. For collectors, a tape's value is often tied to its backstory. Was it banned from distribution? Does it have an infamous cover? Is it a video nasty from the UK? The more lurid the history, the more valuable the tape. That brings us to the latest development in the world of VHS collecting. A rare copy of the 1983 film The Baphomet Séance has been discovered. The film was infamously banned in the mid-80s during the Satanic Panic. It was rumored to be a genuine instructional video for summoning occult entities. The movie was pulled from the shelves and destroyed, and only a handful of copies were ever known to exist. This discovery is believed to be only the fourth surviving copy. It was found inside a storage locker that contained the inventory of a shuttered video rental store. The new owner of the tape confirmed its existence and plans to keep it. The tape is now estimated to be worth between $50,000 and $75,000. This is a considerable sum, but the news comes at an interesting time. A number of independent distributors have been working to restore and re-release the Baphomet Séance to the public this fall, more than 40 years after its original release. That will do it for the news. Links to all of my sources will be included in the show notes. We only have one movie being released in theaters this week, and only one movie coming out on video on demand. In theaters this week, we have The Conjuring: Last Rites, and the synopsis reads: Paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren take on their most disturbing case to date. Jack and Janet Smurl and their family move into a brand new home they've dreamed of, which turned into a nightmare as their home begins to show signs of demonic infestation. And for video on demand, we have The Mutilator 2, and despite my best effort, I could not find a synopsis. It is a sequel to the 1984 cult classic slasher flick, The Mutilator. So there's that. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, rate, review, share, all of those things. It really helps us as we try to grow I Watch Horror. Speaking of growing, we've just released our first non-podcast video. It's called 5 Lesser Known 80s Horror Movies You Need to See. You can find that linked in the show notes. If you do check it out, let us know what you think. Finally, we are on Instagram, X, and Threads. The handle for all three is I_watch_horror. All of those links will be in the show notes as well. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Until next time, take care.